Welcome once again to the class today. This is an algebraic series that we have started, and this is Covenant Achievers Academy, and I remain Timidayo. Now, in this aspect of today, we are considering a very important aspect, and that is fractions equals to 0. When a fraction equals to 0, the fraction that is equals to 0 that we want to discuss here is an algebraic fraction. And when you are talking about algebraic fraction, it's going to have a numerator. That means you're having your numerator in terms of x, and you're having your denominator in terms of x. So when you're having numerator in terms of x and denominator in terms of x equals to 0, how will you solve this question? Now, in such a case, the major thing we need to understand is that when an algebraic fraction equals to 0, the numerator is equals to 0. That means in this case nx is equals to 0. So when you're having an expression that is that means you're having a fraction whereby the numerator is a function of x and the denominator is a function of x, and it's equals to 0. What it means is that the numerator is equals to 0. And how will you solve such a question? It's just for you to equate the numerator to be 0. And once the numerator is equals to 0, then you can solve. And that is why we have fraction with fraction equals to 0. Now, find the value of x for which the fraction 4x plus 9 over 7x equals to 0. Now, for us to solve this question, as we have the condition over there, that means this is equals to 0 when the numerator is equals to what? 0. Or the numerator is equals to 0 when a fraction or algebraic fraction equals to 0. So in that case, let's see how we are going to solve the first question in this case. Now we are having 4x plus 9 over 7x equals to 0. So this simply means that the numerator, and what is the numerator here? Our numerator in terms of x is 4x plus 9. And the denominator in terms of x is equals to 7x. Now, for this fraction to be equals to 0, this implies that this numerator equals to 0. And in that case, we are going to have 4x plus 9 equals to 0. And we can then solve the question. This is now subtract 9 from both sides. And when you do that, we are going to have 4x plus 9 minus 9 equals to 0 minus 9. Subtract 9 from both sides. So from here you can see that plus 9 minus 9 equals to 0. That means 4x equals to minus 9. Then divide both sides by 4. You can put that, divide both sides by 4. So you're having 4x over 4 equals to minus 9 over 4. This cancel this. That's 4 divided by 4. So what we have left, that means that x is equals to 4 goes in 9 minus 2 1 over 4. So that is the value for x. And that is when this fraction is equals to 0. Now the same concept we are going to apply for what value of x is the fraction x squared minus 3x plus 2 over 4x plus 13 equals to 0. Now, for what value of, what is the value of x when this equals to 0 or this fraction equals to 0? Now, we have established the fact that for an algebraic fraction to be equals to 0, it means that the numerator must equals to 0 or is equals to 0. So, in that case, you are having your numerator nx as x squared minus 3x plus 2, and your denominator in terms as a function of x to be equals to 4x plus 13. So when you have something like this, then how will you solve this? It's just that for this nx divided by dx to be equals to 0, it implies that our nx is equals to 0. So what is our nx? Nx now is equals to x squared minus 3x plus 2 equals to 0. Then we have to solve this quadratic equation. This now becomes a quadratic equation. So you're having this multiplied by this, that's 2x squared. So what are the two numbers that you are going to multiply to get 2x squared, and you are going to add to get minus 3x? Now, the two numbers you are having is x squared minus 2x minus x plus 2 equals 0. So from there you can see, then let's factorize this. What is common here? X into bracket x minus 2 close bracket. You're having minus 1 into bracket x minus 2 equals to 0. So let's factorize there. You're having x minus 2, then x minus 1 equals to 0. So from here we can go further, because this simply means that x minus 2 equals to 0, or x minus 1 equals to 0. Therefore, x is equals to 2, or x is equals to 1. So therefore we can say x is equals to 2 or 1. So that is the value that makes this expression to be equals to 0. So this is how we solve equations or fractions equals to 0. If you are new to this channel, ensure you subscribe to this channel and send your comments on this.